Gonna set this place on fire. Gonna give you what you really want. Come on, step into my
That's right. We're going to set this place on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And by fire, we mean we're going to have some great StarCraft games ahead of us. Welcome back to the GSL Team League. I am Moltrap. With me again is Caldor. And today we're going to be casting for you guys ZeNEX versus oGs-TL. It's going to be great. How are you doing today, Caldor?
I'm cold.
Dude, it's a beautiful day out today. It got all the way up to a balmy 34 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 1 degree for you Celsius heights.
It was -8 degrees this morning. It's way too cold out there.
-8 Celsius. Doesn't get that low quite in Fahrenheit here, but it gets really freaking cold here. In fact, there was a period of 4 or 5 days last week when it didn't go above freezing at all. There's still snow on the ground from a few days ago, actually. Yeah. That's how cold it is. But we're in this nice warm studio with nice warm lights and cameras and computers, hot packs, and we are ready for some nice hot StarCraft 2 action. It's going to be great.
Exactly, we are going to see PvZ first today. It is ZeNEX against oGs-TL, and we have Vines against Line. And a major upset already, because according to our sources, Live is not in the studio, so we won't see it live for ZeNEX, which is a little bit disappointing. But, well, ZeNEX is in for a tough battle, and here we have the teams.
Yes, indeed. Both teams with pretty poor match records, as you can see in the past. GSTL, ZeNEX on the left with only 2 wins and 7 losses. oGs-TL only with 3 wins and 6 losses, though. They did not do very well in the Team League in past seasons, and a little bit surprising considering the heavy hitters that they've had on their team in the past, although, of course, they don't have MC anymore. He's switched over permanently, or well, not permanently, but long-term to SK 100%, and so he's not technically part of OGS any longer. So they're missing that, but I think oGs-TL is still clearly the favorite in this match. They've got so many heavy hitters still on their bench that it is ridiculous. And ZeNEX, you know, they've lost a few of their best players over the last 6 months to other teams, so they are going to have to bring out their new talent and hope they can accomplish something here if they're going to have a chance in this match.
Especially strong for OGS are obviously their Terran players. They have a whole lot of them, and we are going to see quite a few today probably, if Vines is not deciding on doing an all-kill. So it might happen.
Yeah, it might happen. It might happen. It also...
It's not unlikely.
The sun might come out and it might be 85 degrees tomorrow too, but...
that was harsh. It was just harsh.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try and hold back my skepticism about
it's kind of unlikely
ZeNEX's chances today, but I mean, just look at who OGS has. They've got so many players. They've even got newer players ready to come out.
Talking about ZeNEX. I was talking about Vines doing all kill, not ZeNEX. I mean, it's
Vines. I'm sorry.
It's probably not the most likely scenario as well, but still. Could happen. It's Team League. Everything can happen in Team League.
The names rhyme, so I got them mixed up. Sorry about that. You're right. Anything can happen in Team League. I was thinking Vines and Line.
Ah, okay. I was just thinking, how the hell does Vines rhyme with ZeNEX?
No. Not quite. Not in well, not in any language I know at least. Anyway. Anything can happen. You're right. There are upsets. It is all best of ones. So even though we've got some really strong players coming out from OGS, some of them, you know, have looked a little bit vulnerable. And here's both teams coming out now.
Hero in the blue.
Spotted Supernova there. Hero in the blue, member of the Team Liquid. And of course, Zenio now is part of Team Liquid as well, officially. The coaches greeting each other.
It's kind of interesting to note that the captain of ZeNEX is apparently not in the studio as well, so Suzanne is missing.
Well, maybe he
kept late.
Yeah, he might have been getting his makeup on or something like that. Not sure. But yeah, Zenio's like looking over his shoulder at the camera. Yeah, I mean, we've got players like you know, Zenio might get sent out. They've sent him out in the Team League before. He is a little bit inconsistent. OGS Finn, aka 4GG, their newer player.
Supernova.
He looked really, really strong last season, and then Codes this season he just kind of fell apart. So you know, if those really good players who have a good history come out and don't play their best, then ZeNEX is definitely capable of taking it to them.
And the first match today will be Daybreak, by the way. So we have a PvZ on Daybreak coming up as the first match. And here comes the ZeNEX roster. Bam!
Suosin,
aka Line.
yes. June has been in the GSL in the past. Not too much success, but has qualified before. Sparta. His nickname is not Madness.
ZeNEX Extreme.
ZeNEX Extreme. Oh, I love that. That's hilarious. And Avenge, he has been playing decently lately. I'm curious if he comes out, what he's going to be capable of. Oh. Young Songi says, nope, nope, nope. Oh, no, you didn't. And there is ZeNEX Life. He's the life of this party, that's for sure. The way he didn't move at all for his intro. ZeNEX Pet. I have not heard of him before. Do you know anything about ZeNEX Pet?
No, I have to admit that he is a completely new face to me as well.
Yeah. There they are, chilling over there on the bench.
Not a single Protoss player in the lineup today.
Oh, wow.
Pretty
no, they have 3 Protoss. They're just that's the, the win
sorry.
rate. They have not won any games in the team league previously.
Wow.
So. Or I guess maybe they haven't played any games in the team league. They do have a few Protoss on the bench though. And there they are. Those benches, by the way, we've sat on them before. They're pretty comfortable, but see those guys in the middle, the back? You kind of have to like lean your neck forward or else you hit your head on that thing. It's kind of annoying, but they seem to be managing okay. Anyway, so those young fellows are going to have a hard time today. A lot of new faces, but you know, we saw a new face yesterday. We saw Crank come out for Slayers, and he did really well despite being unknown, so who knows?
I like that move.
And there's...
Cool as fuck, look at him.
Oh, and there is even cooler, OGS Nada, such a baller. So cool. And their newcomer, Brood War champion, OGS Finn. Brood War not champion, but used to play in the team leagues in Brood War. He was pretty good. Supernova used to be known as by Sair.
The STC baller style. And he's ready. He's ready for the first match today. OGS Mines.
Yep. OGS Team Liquid Hero.
With a little bit of a rough spot lately.
Yeah. There is Inca, another former second placer. OGS Lovesick. He's been kind of showing himself a little bit more in the scene lately as well.
What up?
Team Liquid Zedio says, "What's up? What's up? You want some?"
Okay, so they are definitely ready.
Him and his turtleneck want you to bring it apparently.
OGS for you. Pretty nice race distribution.
Yep, indeed. Terrans have done a little bit better in the team league in the past for OGS. But I mean, look at their Terrans. Supernova, Nada. They have some really strong ones there. Yeah, so I'm really curious how these games are going to progress actually, because like I said, we have a lot of... We don't know how ZeNEX is going to throw out because they have a lot of new faces that we don't know a lot about. We don't know who OGS is going to throw out because they have a ton of well-tested players that could be thrown out in different situations depending on what the matchup is, depending on what the map is, and what the team wants to accomplish.
Well, as mentioned before, according to our information, Live is not in the studio right now. I am not sure if he just came in late or if he's really missing, but he's one of the players that I actually expected to play for ZeNEX because right now I think he's the strongest player in the lineup. So therefore, I'm a little bit disappointed that we got this information, but we might see some surprises today. This is Line for you, ladies and gentlemen, for a GSL ranking 57. And as mentioned before, he is up against oGs-TL Mines. This map will be Daybreak. This should be a good one.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, Line is pretty good. He's definitely one of, I mean, he's one of the players from ZeNEX that, you know, people have actually heard of, I guess. And one way of putting it. He has shown some strong games in the past. Hasn't shown really tip-top level, but he is very, very good versus Protoss players. So, but he's shown that in the past at least. So if we have it matched up against the Protoss, then we will see how that goes. And we do, of course, have it matched up against Protoss. So.
And by the way, while we're still at the pre-show, I just want to give a quick shout-out to Team Liquid, especially to Sika, who is doing an awesome job with the live threads for the GSL. I love
that live report thread was epic.
Yeah, that live report thread is just hilarious. I love the new music that they actually added, and I really love the Moldo picture. It's not a casting icon, no, it's a casting volcano.
That's right. A casting land of doom where the Dark One lives, sort of. Anyway, here's Vines. He is currently Code B. He is not in Code A. So we haven't been able to see too much out of him lately. I can't remember being too impressed by the things I've seen from him in the past, but he has shown pretty decent performances in other tournaments besides the GSL.
And the players are in the lobby, ladies and gentlemen. They are both ready. We are about to start the first game in today's GSTL match between ZeNEX and oGs-TL. Line will face Vines, Zerg against Protoss. We are heading into the first set of the day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the GSTL. I am Kaldor, and with me is Moltrap. At the top right of Daybreak, we have in the red colors the player from Team ZeNEX. It is the Zerg.
ZeNEX, Flushin!
Focus usual, and at the bottom left of the map, his opponent in the blue colors. It is none other than
oGs-TL, Vinesse!
Vinesse. Okay. That's another way of pronouncing it. Maybe that's how he pronounces it. I'll have to try and ask him about that later. By the way, Kaldor, and everyone else watching, I was just looking up, and I might have been thinking of someone else when I said that Vines has had good showings in the past, because I just looked up his stats. He is 3 and 20 in tournament games. He is 3 and 20. He has an overall win rate of 13%.
Well, I don't want to be mean, but maybe ZeNEX is just banking on the fact that at some point he has to win a game. Every streak has an end.
No, that's Vines. Vines.
Oh, sorry, yeah, OGS in that case.
Yeah, yeah. This. He's won one game in his life in a tournament against Zergs.
Well,
ever.
It is Team League, so you can definitely give a player a chance that has been on a little bit of a rough patch. So
that's true.
Let's see how he's faring against Line. We have Vines right now with the Forge first play on Daybreak. Nothing all too spectacular. We see that quite often, but at the same time, we already have a finished pool for Line. He started with a little bit of an earlier pool, throws down 4 Lings and the Queen right away.
And we do have Vines going for the Forge. And then Nexus, he's going to be able to get a cannon up before any Lings are a problem. 6 Lings now in production for Line. Sorry, the rhyming is confusing me here. So he's made 4 Lings, and he's going to chase that probe away and made extra Lings, but nope. Then he's just going to get a hatchery down and drone up again, actually. So Couple extra lings for no particular reason.
Going for the hatch now, droning up at the same time. We already have part of the Sim City for Mines. Right now he's trying to just block the left side of the map with another pylon while he's completing the first gateway, and 2 assimilators for him to get a lot of gas in the early stages of the game already. Let's have a quick look at what Line is up to. He's just trying to get a scout into position, has links everywhere in order to intercept his opponent's probes so that Mines can get in additional scouting probes.
Indeed. Yeah, I guess he's making use of those Zerglings, sending them all over the map. He has really good map control, map awareness right now. He can control exactly what Vines can see right now, so that's pretty good.
He knows
Maybe that's why he got the extra couple links, just to make sure he controlled everywhere.
He knows exactly about what his opponent is doing right now. The timing for the Cybernetics core, he's obviously aware of the time when the first Stalker can be out, so his Overlord is still safe. Just having a quick look into the base. And now, Vines throwing down another pylon where he can hide a couple of buildings. We might see him starting with a starport, while Line is now just trying to get his third base. Nothing out of the ordinary on Daybreak. It's really common to get the third base when the opponent is starting with a early expansion, which is the usual strategy for Protoss against Zerg.
Yeah, I mean, you either have to do something aggressive to punish them for getting that expansion, or you have to get that second expansion of your own to try and keep up economically. So, smart move there by Line to go ahead and go for the long game, and just trying to get his economy going. A single Stalker's out. Start wandering around the map. I kind of like that. Put a little bit of pressure on the Zerg. Maybe make him make a few extra lings. Of course, the risk is that he might lose that Stalker, but there's no speed upgrade even on the way right now, so...
As so often we have the +1 attack upgrade already for Mines, so he is he's starting with the Twilight Council right away. Interesting choice. So we could see either a Blink Stalker play on 2 bases, or he might just try to play a little bit with Dark Templar. Definitely seems something that you can pull off on Daybreak, at least you can try to, but obviously we expect Line to use an Evolution Chamber fairly soon. But the thing is, if you warp in 3 Dark Templars and start attacking a hatch, then you have no chance as a Zerg player to save that hatch when there is not a Spore Crawler in place already. And this one Stalker is already intercepting the Overlord, so the scouting, I don't think that he has knowledge about the Twilight Council, does he? No, he has no idea so far.
And we do have Vines going immediately for Blink. And +1 attack is almost done as well. We did see, by the way, that we saw Line get 2 extractors. He's mining gas off of two gas mines.
Whoa.
And so that's going to give him enough income. So yeah, if he gets some Evo Chambers, he can start getting those upgrades going. In the meantime, just got enough gas to get the lair and the speed upgrade going. So he's now starting to detect, now that he's gotten a significant amount of drones out.
We should see +2 in a few seconds. Oh, there it is already. Yeah. +2 attack now for Mines, starting right away. And he has Blink being researched too, so this is a Blink Stalker all in with 7 gates. He's on 7 gates already. Let's see how Line is going to react. He's now just researching speed, as already mentioned, and we have the Roach Warren halfway done. So let's see if Line is up to the challenge as this attack is about to start. We have 60 drone supply against 50, and well, Mines really needs to do a lot of damage now with this push.
Yep, and it's going to be a pretty good push. I mean, he's going to have Blink here, and he's going to Blink and +2 by the time he gets over to Line's base, basically. And Line is probably, if he lands at the right timing, Line will have 0/0 upgrades.
And remember that he didn't have any scouting information whatsoever. He might have seen the +2 attack upgrade being researched in the Forge, just assuming that he realizes that the timing or the research time in the Forge has been quite a while. So he might know about the +2, then he knows obviously already about the Twilight Council. Nice pickup of the warp in pylon, and here comes the first attack, trying to back off just a tiny little bit, and very good job.
No! Blinks back into a sandwich of Zerglings. They're going to get a lot of hits off before the Blink cools down. He does blink out, but it loses a few stalkers. He's going to lose his pylon.
And this is huge. He already lost the first pylon, which shouldn't happen because therefore he had to warp in units in his main base instead of right at the front, right into the battle. And now he's lost the second pylon as well, trying to blink away with one stalker after another. At the same time, one more units are being produced for line. He's getting more roaches going for the burrow as well. He realizes his opponent doesn't have any detection at all.
Wow, and he's blinking back a lot here, but he needs to get those injured stalkers in the back. Finally gets enough stalkers together. He's chasing the roaches away. But yeah, this is looking pretty good for line. He's able to get out a lot of roaches here. He's actually building a Hydralisk den. He feels so comfortable right now that he's getting a Hydra den and another Evo chamber.
He needs
in addition to all this.
Delay his opponent's pressure build a little bit though, because right now Vines is picking off unit after unit and Burrow is not done just yet. Will he lose his third base? Doesn't look like it as Vines now backing off, and ZeNEX line at the same time is about to complete Burrow, which will help him quite a lot.
And we do have Hydralisks on the way, which are going to be great for adding some damage coming out from behind those roaches. Lings popping out just at the right moment as the Lings fall to those stalkers. He's not blinking. Okay, now he starts blinking the injured stalkers back. What he needs to do, and there's the burrow. He can just burrow those and let them sit around, and oh, he walked right into the trap.
And he still doesn't have a warp in pylon. There is still no pylon available for Vines. He didn't bring another probe. Now ZeNEX line with his drones trying to throw back this attack, but at the same time he's losing tons of units. More and more Hydralisks are joining the party now, and the Stalk is under a lot of pressure. One after another of them is dying, and Vines has to back up again.
Wow. Nicely done, and it looks like he is probably going to hold this. He's just producing a lot of units, but he did lose a ton of drones, and that was crucial because now he's not able to produce as much as he could before.
Drones in
15
total.
drones there.
Plus 3 is being researched for Vines, but ZeNEX line has a lot of units now. He's going off creep with a Hydralisk though. He is going for the counter attack. Needs to back up once again. Should have waited a little bit longer. Here comes the aggressive blink by Vines, trying to take down more units of his opponent. And finally the +1 attack upgrade is close to finish. But we already
he's so
have
behind on upgrades though.
Yeah,
+3 to 0-0, or actually 0-1, I mean. It's just ridiculous. And here he comes in again, just trying to push him back. He needs to stay back on that creep though, otherwise those Hydras are very vulnerable. Again, the Lings just barely getting there to rally in. The Lings kind of going in front to soak up damage while the Hydras deal the damage from behind. And you can see how he's just dancing back and forth on that point of where the creep ends.
We have Infestation becoming up for line. He wants to have those those infestors for the fungus so that he can finally avoid the blinks. But at the same time, we have his decision making is a little bit off. He should not attack his opponent when he's off creep due to the reduced speed, especially for the Hydralisks.
Couple Zealots mixed in now, just for fun. Oh, he gets a lot of Lings surrounding those Stalkers. He does manage to blink a lot of them back though. Beautiful blink, Ryko, keeping them away. The Hydra's doing so much damage from behind though. Now half those Stalkers are really softened up. He needs to be careful that he doesn't lose those while he's attacking.
Vines is pulling ahead in this fight right now, and he's able to take down the third base because ZeNEX line lost way too many units with all those counterattacks that he tried when he approached the Stalker army. He should have waited a little bit longer, made good use of his burrow, and maybe teched into the infestation pit a little bit earlier. As it is, he's losing the third, a ton of overlords, and he's down to 494 supply against 125.
Yeah, this is looking really bad. Line is up against the ropes right now. He is going to go down very soon. He's got a trap laid here, but I don't know. He's waiting for those 5 infestors to pop out, basically.
Exactly.
And right as they're about to pop out, he's going to unburrow, and this is going to be one final battle. He's going to have godly fungals if he's going to hope to come out ahead in this. And there he unburrows. The infestors are popping out. The Hydralisks and Roaches going to work, but they're all almost dead already. The infestors pop out and sit there. Finally gets a couple fungals off, but all the forces are dead already.
Why would you unburrow before the infestors are in place to use the fungals?
Yeah, and this game is pretty much over, so we are going to actually have OGS Vines get his second win versus a Zerg in tournament play ever, bringing his score to 2-10 in Korean games. So nicely done, and actually takes out pretty much one of the strongest couple players on the ZeNEX team. A huge blow. That was a win that ZeNEX really needed, and it was a win that they should have been able to get. And instead, they're going to go down 0-1.
I'm a little bit disappointed by Line, to tell you the truth, as he did very, very well in the early stages of Mind's attack to hold this off.
Yeah.
But then, for some reason, he picked a lot of fights that he should have just avoided. He should have just waited a little bit longer, assembled a huge army of roaches and the infestors that he already built in order to be able to attack those stalkers head-on. Made use of his blink a little bit, of his burrow a little bit more. And the infestation pit could have been thrown down earlier as well.
Yeah, well,
so he was in a good position to actually defeat Minds. But then
he held off the first couple waves, and then he got a little bit overconfident and tried to do everything at once. He got Hydras, he got Hydra range, he got another Evo chamber, which I'm not sure he even used. He then got some Hydras, but then he also went and tried to get Infestors at the same time, so he's spending money on the Infestation Pit and the Pathogen Glands, which was not useful at all in the battles. And because he was spending all that money on stuff other than Forces, whereas Vines was just like, oh, I'm just going to make Stalker, 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 that's all I'm going to do for the rest of the game is make Stalkers and attack, he fell a little bit behind. And that's all it took for him to get overwhelmed by the superior numbers. Despite the Stalkers heading forward.
Fighting in a lot of places where I actually would have thought that he could have just backed up. The one decision that I don't agree with is getting that Hydra then. Of course, Hydras are awesome against gateway units in general, but in this particular scenario, you didn't need the Hydras. He could have just relied on roaches, just used the burrow ability, because he must have known that there couldn't have been any detection at all. With the kind of all-in that was played by Vines, he couldn't have had a robotics and therefore no observer. So instead of the Hydra then just throwing down immediately the infestation pit, he would have been so much better off just focusing on roaches, getting a couple of infestors, using the funnel to prevent the blink, and then go in and kill the whole army.
Yeah.
So a little bit off with his decision making. He paid dearly for it, lost the game, and therefore OGS ahead with 1-0.
All right, and the next player has been picked, and ZeNEX is going to be sending out June or June. All right, so we're going to have, I believe he's a Terran player, am I correct on that?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Terran player coming out here to match the Protoss from OGS. He is in Code A, June. He's been in Code A in the past as well. Let's go ahead and look that up actually, see how he did before, but anyway, we're going to see what he has in store for us. We haven't obviously seen him this season yet, but like I said, we haven't seen him in the past. Not too impressive of a player, but, you know, might be a good match for OGS Vines then, I guess.
We're still waiting for...
He's solid, though. I don't want to take anything away from him.
Shadron join the lobby. We have a Protoss versus Terran coming up. And before we start into the next game, we'll give Shadron a little bit time to set up his gear. We'll have a 5-minute break, ladies and gentlemen, and then we are back with the GSTL. Don't go anywhere.